Yeah, the energies are building. Uh-huh. I have some insights on timelines, on those timeline loops I've been talking about, and on why things are building again now. But have you been feeling them too? It is it is every single day this week. I don't know why, particularly in the early afternoon, I have felt this giddy, nervous, excited kid at Christmas. Like I can't tell if I'm nervous, anxious, or like so thrilled I can't stand it, right? It is. And I've been thinking a lot about this because the last time I felt this was that week we all were feeling it, and he disappeared for a few days. So I'm not trying to label the feeling, but I noticed an interesting correlation. This very same anticipatory excitement, but also nervousness, it's building. It's that same energy. But I've also been thinking about, I've made previous videos in recent weeks. Number one, really focusing on the red hats who are now waking up and now joining this movement. And number two, how Spirit said, I want to say this was back in May, I think late May maybe, where they talked about timelines converging for the experience of it. It's so interesting that when I made that video on that very same day, I discovered a new creator, Paula Taylor Energy. I'll post her, add her in the caption here. She made almost the same video, or the video with the exact same message. Now, she and I have connected since then, and we have found that we're very in sync with a lot of our messages. We're getting a lot of the same collective messages at the exact same time. And again, she's feeling that same thing about this timeline loop thing. And in fact, she just recently made a video about that, saying her guides have said we've been stuck in a timeline loop. I believe Sam, Spirituality with Sam, has brought through something similar. Now, rather than panic about, that sounds bad, stuck in a timeline loop. It's not bad. Remember what Spirit has been telling me about these timeline loops where so we have the main primary timeline, it's going this way. And then there will be groups of people who are going off on these little side quests. They're gonna go do a thing, and time for us feels like it's expanded or slowed down. It's like timey-wimey. Well, people go out and have these experiences, and then when they're done, they come back and they join us in the primary timeline. I am seeing that happening so hard right now. It's been happening. It's been happening through all of this. And we've been saying that we're waiting for enough people to join so that we have the momentum to drive that primary timeline forward. And that will culminate in the manifestation of his downfall, whatever that it is. Now, if you'll recall, I made very specific videos about not only have we reached the tipping point, but about now we have this energy of justice for women, justice for the victims, that is helping drive or propel this forward. And I cannot help but think that this whole Epstein files thing, I've talked about this is the thing that broke their shelf. This is finally the straw that broke the camel's back. But if you remember clear back in the days of Q, I don't even like to say it, the Q Anonymous, this was a major thing they were pushing. Was this tale about, I'm not even going to say it. You remember what was at the core of those ideas, right? And so this subset of people in his base who were radicalized by those ideas, they've joined us now in this primary timeline, and they're out for blood. They bought into this idea of him as this great savior who was going to save the children. Like, that's what they wanted. That's why they joined his entire thing. And if you want to know more about that in detail, I talked about this in previous videos where I was in spiritual communities in 2020, like Facebook, these online groups, and I saw the Q stuff infiltrate those spiritual circles, and it was very dark, very dark. That's a whole thing. But
I didn't get that.
Wow, Siri chiming in, weird. Okay, anyway, that was their whole thing. That they got so caught up in this emotional idea of needing to save these victims that they bought into these really extreme ideologies and got radicalized by the alt-right stuff. So if we look at that as those people with those ideologies went on a timeline loop to fill this metaphor, and now they've come back and joined us, their desire for justice is part of that momentum. And their disenfranchisement with their leader who promised he was going to free them, and now it turns out, oh, wait, maybe he was what we should have been warned about? Yeah. Now they're joining us. They're literally joining us with that energy, with that momentum. And it's been so fascinating throughout this time period of all these timeline loops. It's like I can feel when another one joins us. I can feel when like a new collective group has awoken and is getting on board with this awakening, with seeing the truth and with all of that. Because when they come in, and I know Paula has felt this too, when they come in, there's like this clash of energies and it gets very dark and very uncomfortable and very chaotic because there's a very different vibe going on. So those of us who are sensitive, who are healers, who are empathic, we get into the space of needing to like stabilize the energies. Like what just happened? And it gets weird and we get tired, exhausted, cranky, and just feel out of body, out of sorts. It's very weird. And then once we've had time to integrate, stabilize, clear out some of the ick, then it's like, oh, lightning bolt, we're on, fast track. So all of these things, all of these factors are what I've been feeling the past couple weeks. And it's also why Spirit was very clear about, I made a lot of messages about welcome the people when they come to the awakening. Don't other them. Don't do an us and them. Welcome to the awakening because we want them on our side. We want to work together because ultimately we want the same things. We want justice. We want an end to the shit show. So now that has come in and that energy is now stabilized and we're more harmonized in our unison going forward, it feels like that tipping point roller coaster down the hill. Ooh, ear just started ringing. Oh, it felt like my head just got like blown into another octave. Okay. Yeah, I'm being reminded of what Kaylee just channeled, which I added in my stories. I'll add Kaylee explains it all in the caption here too. This very same energy of it's coming, it's happening, roller coaster down the hill. Now listen, I don't know. I'm not shown what steps, what's going to happen, what order, when it's going to pop off, but you can feel the energy, right? You feel the anticipation, you feel the nerves, you feel the excitement, the dread, the fear, the confusion. Like it's a mess, but it's like a good mess, right? It's like a good mess. So putting it out there for those who feel it, for those who are wondering what this is that we're feeling, and also some of the factors that are driving it. These things that I've seen periodically and that are really coming together now to give us that steam, to give us that push. So it's going to be an interesting summer. Let's put it that way. I'm not putting a time frame, crazy times altogether, but yeah, it's on, it's cruising, it's happening. Whew, buckle up.